Young Turks, TiE the Knot 2015.
Hi, I'm Anand, co-founder and CEO of WedMeGood.
Hi, this is Mehak. I'm a co-founder at WedMeGood.com. WedMeGood is the portal to help a modern Indian couple plan their wedding.
We're raising a 3 crore round against a 15% dilution. Come, let's disrupt one of India's largest industries together.
Back in 2012, 3 days after my wedding, the boss here says, "You know, Anand, all this was okay, but I want an even grander 5th anniversary party." After I recovered from my shock, I was like, "You do know how much money got spent, right?" He said, "Yeah, but I don't think I'll have more than 5 memorable photos from our wedding, because we did not hire a candid wedding photographer." This is where WedMeGood comes in. The resource for the modern Indian couple to plan their wedding. We already have close to 2 lakh unique visitors coming onto our site every month. We are already at a revenue run rate of 4.5 lakh.
We piloted on a trial basis a subscription-based model in which they pay a semi-annual or annual amount. So we asked 210 people to pay from Delhi and Bombay, 210 vendors. We have 185 paying vendors, and this contributes to the 4.5 lakh revenue that we're seeing every month.
Why would Shadi.com or Baatmoney.com not just make this as a natural extension of it? Okay, right? So that's question 1.
Sure.
Question 2, how flexible are you on the valuation part of it? Okay, right? Question 3, you're trying to make money by subscription from vendors.
Okay.
That is not a scalable model because that caps out pretty soon. Okay,
Absolutely.
It's perfectly fine to do it when you are self-funded because it gives you revenue to break even.
These existing matrimonial players, the fact is they're already attempting this, but there's no clear market leader.
So here's the thing, their core business is something else. So they don't have a product focus over there. If you see a lot of the websites, for example, Matrimony Directory or even Shadi.com just launched Shadi pages, there isn't that kind of thinking that's going into...
So, I mean, without taking time, I leave it to you to think. If they are not doing it, they have the money, they are not doing it because they don't see the market is large enough.
Then they can only do it by acquiring you. That's okay.
Yeah. Second question which you asked was how flexible are you on valuation? Okay. The fact is our traction speaks for itself.
Currently, do you have your own in-house technology team, or do you plan to use a third party to do the mobile app?
Definitely not third party.
Okay.
So we didn't have a tech co-founder initially. So we know what are the downsides of not having in-house tech. We want this app to be like, we just don't want one person probably building this app. This has to be like the app. Very in-house, to answer that question.
In or out? In. 1-0.
Subject to, I need to validate the valuation that they're proposing. So,
Okay, 1 in subject to valuation. 2-0.
in subject to
3-1.
valuation.
In subject to valuation.
In subject to valuation.
Oh man. In subject to valuation.
And evaluation of the tech team.
And subject to valuation and evaluation of... Sharad, you are tough, man. You're really tough.
In subject to valuation.
In subject. So guys, you'll probably end up giving more than 15% if you want the money, but...
At this valuation, no. But from a money raise perspective, I can do up to 1 crore at the right valuation. So I given the amount, I given the stuff.
Okay, it is not only in, 1/3 of the raise can come at the right valuation, guys.
I can give up to 50 lakhs subject to correct valuation.
50. Oh man, you got the money. It's no value. Okay.
I think this market is probably has lower barriers to entry. You should probably look at raising more money. It seems like there is enough interest. You guys seem to be a good team, can execute, and I think the way to sort of being able to build that barrier to entry would be that you scale very fast. So I think at this point you should go out and raise more than 3 crores. And if the valuation is right, you probably get that as well.
So I would say if you value it at 2.5 million, the entire thing I will be in.
Okay guys, here's an offer. Subject to valuation came down to a valuation of 2.5 million. We ain't gonna close it here. So the entrepreneur team of WedMeGood has evaluated the feedback that they got from investors real time, and they want to come back with a offer to the investors. Hey guys, come on up.
If the entire round is getting close, we don't mind partnering with the right guy. I see a lot of them over here. So we are okay with that. We're happy with that rather, to be on board with everybody at that valuation of 2.5, which you have suggested.
So guys, $2.5 million and we close the round.
No seasoned investor agrees in one go, but I'm happy that, in our case, it was not too difficult for us to explain to them why our traction kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, so I think we had a certain figure in mind, and we got a lot of yeses conditional on valuation as well.
Mehak knows a lot about this market. She's quite young, and I was really moved by her energy and passion towards this business.
I think it's a real problem that they're trying to solve, so that's something which is interesting. The market size looks significant, and I was very impressed with the team.
One of the startups at TiE 2015 got oversubscribed and hence chose to withdraw from this competition. At this point, TiE has opened the slot for a wildcard entry, and the people that you see behind me are preparing for an on-the-spot pitch. After a quick session with the investors, 2 startups got shortlisted. Take a look at the first wildcard entry.
There are a lot of flash sales happening, which ends at 12. But the content which goes out in email still remains generic. That's the basic problem we're trying to solve. So we are able to change the content of the email based on at the time of its open. So what location a person is opening its email on, what time of the day they're opening their email on, what device they're opening their email on, what is the weather of the place they're opening their email on. A typical use case is Snapdeal uses us to send daily deals to its subscriber, which changes as soon as the content on the website changes. Also do data onboarding. We fill gaps in the data. So if they don't have whether the person is a female or a male, what's the age group or the income group, we try and find that from the internet across various social networks, whatever data is public.
And 3 crores at the valuation of between 18 to 20. I think it's only fair to say 18.
How is it different from an email, an HTML email with the Google stats running on it?
We can change the content. Google Analytics on an email will not be able to change. You can have rule builders. Brands can have rule builders based on the...
So if it is a dynamic sourcing, you can change the contents there also.
I agree. Essentially, Google will not be able to change content. And you have to build those dynamic tags. You'll have to build that contextual rule builder. We have already built that in place. We have everything in as a SaaS platform.
You mentioned in your presentation that you are able to detect that product has been purchased.
Right.
Are you able to do that? That means you will never send me an email with the context that I actually have bought the product?
We will know if, say, for example, you went to Jabong and you went to Flipkart and both are my customers. So we will know that you bought the brown chinos or blue trousers from Flipkart. So will not, my system will not allow Jabong to send that email, but only if both are my customers.
So folks, this is our first wildcard entry. If there are investors in the room who say, we'd like to know more and we'd like to continue dialogue, a hand goes up to say yes. Yes. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, congratulations. You got people here.
2 o'clock I did not know I'm pitching. 3 o'clock I was here compiling my pitch, and 4 o'clock I was pitching on the stage. So it was completely crazy. I mean, on a very short notice and a stage like this, you get so much interest on one single platform. That's amazing.
TransTutors is going to be internet's largest question and answer bank. By question and answer bank, academic question and answer bank, we mean that anything that a student gets in his academic career, in his or her academic career, which he or she is unable to solve, which he or she is struggling with, that is something that we are catering to. The market size for such a product is about $5 billion. So we are looking for $1 million for a 10% stake. We are already at a run rate of $2 million.
You said you have 500 experts who are helping you with this. So how are you incentivizing them?
So they get paid on per answer basis. They answer and they get paid. So typically a question and answer costs us around $3.5 to $4. That's the cost side. And for every 100 question and answers that get into the system, we generate about $600 in a year.
These customers that are giving you 2 million run rate, when did you acquire them? Was it part of your earlier business that they spilled over into this, or you've just acquired them recently?
Some part of that, so earlier we used to get about 500 customers a month, but now with this new model, subscription model, we're getting about 2,500 customers a month. So this is a little part is spillover, but we are building up really fast.
$1 million for 10% of the company. If you raise your hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
To talk, yeah.
Wonderful. Congratulations, folks. You've got a lot of guys interested.
Thank you.
All the very best.
This is focused on once you are in the university or the college, if you don't know something, how do you get the answer? And I think they are simply creating a crowdsourced platform through which answers are curated. So I think it's a very interesting concept.
There is an ecosystem that is developing, and for me, and I'm sure for many of you here, that is so fascinating. Thank you for being a part of TiE 3. Look forward to seeing you again in October. Thank you very much.
Young Turks, TiE the Knot 2015.